Hey everybody, it's Max J. Miller, co-author with Robert Hollis of the upcoming How Is That Working? Yesterday, I introduced the idea that when the hero meets the person who becomes their mentor, the mentor can seem a little odd and kind of unsettling because the mentor is very much at ease in this other world, and the hero feels quite ill at ease in that world. And the mentor, in that case, becomes a source of both fascination and irritation for the hero. And quickly, the hero will begin to get past that and begin to learn from the hero. But I want to share a little piece out of the movie The Matrix that I think sets up this tension and dynamic quite well. The first encounter between the character Neo and his mentor Morpheus in The Matrix dramatically captures this tension and perplexity of the initiate when he begins to realize the extent to which his world is about to be upended. So I'm going to read a little bit of the script to you. So this character Morpheus says, "I imagine that right now you're feeling a bit like Alice tumbling down the rabbit hole, Neo says, "You could say that. I can see it in your eyes. You have the look of a man who accepts what he sees because he's expecting to wake up. Ironically, this is not far from the truth. Do you believe in fate, Neo?" "No." "Why not?" "Because I don't like the idea that I'm not in control of my life." "I know exactly what you mean. Let me tell you why you are here. You are here because you know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. You've felt it your entire life, that there's something wrong in the world. You don't know what it is, but it's like a splinter in your mind driving you mad. It is this feeling that brought you to me. Do you know what I'm talking about?" Neo says, "The Matrix." "Do you want to know what it is?" Neo nods. "The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us, even now in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth." Neo says, "What truth?" "That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else here, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell, taste, or touch, a prison for your mind." Morpheus reads Neo's skeptical expression and sighs. "Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself." Then he takes something out of a tiny box. He opens his palm to reveal 2 pills. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you just how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering you is the truth, nothing more." Neo hesitates, and then he grabs the red pill, and he has a glass of water there, and he takes the pill. And then Morpheus concludes, "Follow me. Have you ever had a dream, Neo, that you were sure was real? What if you were unable to wake from that dream? How would you know the difference between the dream world and the real world?" So that's the end of the script that I'm reading to you. By the way, a great thing to do if you want to get that and see how great my impersonations of them were, you go to YouTube and you just say Neo Meets Morpheus, and you'll find the little clip from the movie, and you can watch it yourself. It's great fun. I love YouTube for those purposes. In addition to illustrating the complex dynamic between a mentor and apprentice as they begin to communicate from radically contrasting realities, that is, perceptual universes, this dialogue brilliantly illuminates what is at stake in the hero's journey and identifies the crux of transformation itself. Now here's a spoiler alert To elucidate this further, I'm afraid I must reveal the mysterious premise of the movie. However, The Matrix is so innovative and imaginative and well executed that I don't think this will actually spoil the movie for anyone who hasn't already seen it. And if you haven't seen it, please do. You're missing an important piece of our cultural, contemporary culture. According to this mentor, Morpheus, what is at stake for the hero, Neo, is his own sanity and freedom. He asserts that Neo, like everyone else within the Matrix, is enslaved in an unseen prison that has captivated his mind. As we, the audience, discover along with Neo, the nature of this prison for the mind is a pervasive and sophisticated simulated reality illusion. This simulated reality exceeds the realism experienced in today's computerized virtual reality simulations by orders of magnitude. It involves all the human senses in a totally immersive experience. The people of this world have been plugged in to this technology-mediated pseudo-universe since birth. So they have no idea that their entire sense of reality is an extraordinarily elaborate technological hoax. In the movie, The Matrix creates a prison by virtue of delusion. To its inhabitants, the world appears just as our world does to us. This virtual reality deception has been executed with such seamless perfection for the characters in the movie that it's no wonder it cannot be explained adequately so as to liberate a person from its control. Morpheus has singled out Neo to be enlightened about the Matrix because he sees in him extraordinary mental acuity, perception, and intuition. Yet even for Neo to understand the nature of this prison, Morpheus says, you have to see it for yourself. Morpheus and his team accomplished this by extracting Neo from the Matrix, enabling him to see it from outside. They achieved this by means of an elaborate scheme that begins with when Neo chooses to take the red pill. Thus, Neo's experience of transformation begins by becoming that sort of fish out of water. You know, we talked about when you go to that other world, you're a fish out of water. You know, ask the fish, how's the water? And the fish is like, what are you talking about? What's water, right? So as he begins to comprehend the pervasive delusion of his everyday world, that is his entire life which has been lived within the Matrix, he progressively regains power over his own mind, and his capabilities expand dramatically. It is precisely this disillusionment, that is the discovery and renunciation of illusions and delusions, that creates an opening for and facilitates real human transformation. Well, talk about paradox and confusion. Right about now you might be thinking you or I perhaps took that red pill. You can relax. I'm not suggesting that you and I are literally plugged into some virtual reality system that generates everything we see and hear, although that might explain a few things in this world, like congressional hearings, LA traffic, and reality television come to mind. Assuming that the Wachowski brothers, Andy and Larry, who wrote and directed the three Matrix movies, did not intend a literal interpretation of their film, The Matrix would seem to be either an intriguing metaphor or else a merely clever premise for a distinctive fish-out-of-water story, and a great pretext for some very cool special effects. Well, we could go on and speculate, and I do in my book, about all the possible different meanings of this metaphor, of this idea that when we're lost in our own world, we're not aware of how it's controlling us and so forth. But I really just wanted to share that setup, how that dynamic between going into another world and there being somebody in that world who's completely comfortable with it, as a sort of challenge figure to our being a hero. It becomes for us a process of internal transformation and an awareness, and we actually learn not only about the new world, but we begin to actually reflect for the first time as a fish out of water about our own world, and then about ourselves and our assumptions and our beliefs, because we sort of see them in relief for the first time. Before this, they were just the way things are. So I hope that's been intriguing for you. It's a fascinating movie. Go out and get it. You can rent it on Netflix, I'm sure. Warning, it is a little bit violent, but I think it's, the fantasy aspect of it makes it worthwhile, and certainly the great ideas that it's wrestling with about our culture, I think make sense as well, and make it valuable as well. So thanks for interacting with me. I look forward to sharing with you further. Keep telling your story. Bye-bye for now.